welcome Dr. Rozita Dara, who will be talking to us about harnessing artificial intelligence for sustainable food and farming. My name is Peter Katona. I'm the Communications Manager here at the Agricultural Adaptation Council. For those of you who may be just getting to know the AAC, we are an industry association representing Ontario's agri-food industry, and we have about 64 different members from across the agri-food value chain. Many people will know us for 30 years of exceptional agri-food program delivery, but we're also very much committed to building partnerships within the industry and the sector, and also play a role in thought leadership, bringing together great ideas and trying to share those with the broader sector. AAC is actually celebrating 30 years. We started in 1995. So we are celebrating 30 years this year, and look forward to 30 more, many more. Before we get started, I wanted to also let people know about a very exciting event that the Agricultural Adaptation Council will be hosting in September, September 17th in Niagara Falls, on a futuristic topic as well. It's the Agri-Food 2050. It's an event that's going to be bringing together industry leaders from across the value chain, including government, academia, primary ag businesses, and food processors. And we're going to get together and sort of envision what the future might be for Ontario agri-food. How do we build a stronger, more resilient sector? For those who might be able to join us on the 17th, that would be wonderful. There are tickets available on the AAC website at adaptcouncil.org. I'd be happy to share the link with people, but registration is now open, and we are welcoming people who are very interested in this topic. So a few things just before we get started. We are recording this session so we can share it more broadly. And we will have time at the end of Dr. Dara's presentation for questions, possibly 10 or 15 minutes. So if you want to ask questions, please do. You can enter them in the chat, and my colleague and I will be monitoring questions. And we'll be able to bring them forward to Dr. Dara at the end of the discussion. So to get started, it is my great privilege to introduce Dr. Rozita Dara. She's an associate professor at the School of Computer Science and the director of artificial intelligence for food. So that's AI4Food at the University of Guelph. Dr. Dara has established an interdisciplinary research program that spans applied artificial intelligence and data and technology governance, with a particular focus on agri-food systems. She has also spearheaded several initiatives related to digital agri-food at both the global and national levels. And these initiatives include governing agri-food data and trustworthy artificial intelligence, enhancing automation in agri-food practices. Her agri-food automation projects cover areas such as developing surveillance tools for avian influenza, another AI I might mention, monitoring and prediction, early identification of mastitis in dairy cows, and mushroom harvesting. I'm really excited about this, and I'm very pleased to welcome Dr. Dara. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much for having me, for the opportunity to speak to your network and audience. My name is Rozita Dara. I'm a faculty at the School of Computer Science. So by training, I'm a computer scientist at the University of Guelph. I'm also the co-director and founding director of Artificial Intelligence for Food. As Peter correctly pointed out, my research is on applied AI and governance. I have worked at the Information Privacy Commission's office. I have worked on mobile health platform and applications of AI in education and health. Since joining University of Guelph, I have been using kind of my background and expertise in agriculture. And now I'm integrating kind of my AI background and governance, which I have worked for a little while in government, and the past few years as a researcher to agriculture and food. I have worked on avian influenza modeling. I will briefly talk about that. I have worked on mushroom harvesting. I have worked on variety selection in crop and, and then blockchain as well. So I have quite diverse set of expertise and experience in agriculture as well. So some of you or many of you may be the subject matter expert in this area, so I don't want to spend too much time on the Canadian agri-food system and vulnerabilities that, especially during COVID, at least I became familiar with. Food production could be in danger and distribution as well. Issues such as climate change is impacting food production, complex and long distance food supply chain, public health, animal health, all of those can threaten, and we have noticed, and fragmented agri-food system can impact food security and food production and food safety. So we cannot avoid using so if we are not able to harness data and AI technology, this may also have major consequences for Canadian agri-food. We cannot monitor baseline where we are in terms of food production. We don't have the data. We don't have the right information. We cannot evaluate where we are or predict potential, future events. We cannot mitigate risk because we don't know where we are. Again, we don't have the baseline, and we cannot predict, we cannot model, and we cannot improve. We cannot manage food waste. We cannot properly monitor and enhance human health, animal health. So there are lots of challenges that without proper use of data and AI technology, we may have to deal with. And global market competition. Many countries are using very effectively data and AI in agri-food system, their own agri-food system, and we may fall behind if we are not acting fast. I want to quickly mention, I added 2 slides on what is artificial intelligence. The reason is that when I go to events, probably you use ChatGPT. Maybe before coming to this meeting, you have been using ChatGPT. As soon as I start talking about AI, they immediately think about the ChatGPT. Obviously, that's one of the group of AI models that exist, but that's not the only one. So I added a very simple definition of AI that we use when we teach. So it's just AI learns from the environment, and we want to train it in a way or build it in a way that can mimic human thinking and solve problems. It could be an AI assistant, or it could be much simpler than that. So there are different types of AI. And when I talk about AI, I'm talking about all different types. It could be as simple as expert systems there are a bunch of well-defined rules by the experts. And it is used in crop management. It's used in disease management and many other applications. And it could be slightly more sophisticated, but traditional machine learning methods that they learn from the environment, they look for patterns, and then somehow that information could be used by human to train, to learn, to educate human, for human to understand the situation, to predict, many different applications. So we have strong AI or general AI. Those are more sophisticated and advanced machine learning methods that are extremely intelligent. They could potentially generate content. And probably this is the more futuristic AI and mainstream AI that we will see in the future that will be used by everybody. And then we have more in terms of hardware and software integration. We have robotics and automation that, again, we will see a lot of application. We interact with AI every day. It doesn't have to be this. It could be simple application on our smartphone, smart car, in our home, smart devices that we have. So each of those could be using very sophisticated or very simple algorithms, AI models. Just imagine using those very simple and sophisticated AI models with more sophisticated technologies. Um, Data processing methods to build decision support system and also dashboarding. Automation, as I mentioned, just imagine robotics or technologies such as digital twin, where we can simulate a real world, a kind of a virtual farm, a food processing plant, and with that make more informed decision and think about many what if scenarios in the future. I want to quickly go over, I have to be cognizant about time. We tend to speak as academician, we tend to speak too much. So maybe I will be able to present two of the use cases. If I can, I will present one on food as well. So I want to first present very quickly something that my team has been working for quite a long time, avian influenza. In BlackBerry, I was working on mobile health, building mobile health platforms just to collect data, kind of wirelessly and make decision about human health. When I came to University of Guelph, my colleagues were talking about avian influenza outbreak. So I spoke with them and said, so what's the problem? How can we help? And they said, okay, it is this virus. Now, in the past few years, it has become very complex to deal with. We don't know where it comes from, how it spreads, how we can get rid of it and make sure it doesn't come back. This is in simple terms. So what they want to do is just, they want to know can we use data to identify high-risk populations in different regions. What they want to know is just, which we don't have the data, but if in the future we can collect kind of control strategies and link it to the data we currently have, how can I optimize outbreak response based on historical data and past behavior and of the virus and make it more effective, the control measure more effective? Can I have an early warning system to just tell me, oh, something is going on in the region and can we kind of take proactive actions? Or can we predict risk? So all of these can improve maybe CFIA, emergency responders, poultry farm produce kind of poultry farm industry on how to mobilize personnel, control strategy, vaccination, quarantine, zoning, and poultry culling. So this is something my team has been, so we call it AI for AI. We have been working on this for quite a long time. So we started with few data sources, social media. We did the first study that showed we can predict avian influenza with social media, Twitter, and now with Google Trends data quite accurately, at least for now, if we get rid of the misinformation. And we also looked at many other data sources. So we are building one of the most comprehensive data sources for avian influenza in Canada. So I have some of the data sources there. We are building decision support system, which is somewhat but more traditional infrastructure where we collect data from different sources, pre-process them differently. It's just we provide very specific indicators to the decision makers, but behind the scene, we may use very sophisticated AI. So what the end user, the decision makers, the emergency responders see is just a bunch of simple rules, but behind it, there are very sophisticated AI algorithms that analyze satellite images and land cover information and all of those to inform about the current situation or provide, hopefully, based on our results, it shows high accurate predictions. And obviously, there is a dashboard. This is very simple. I mean, it's university, we don't have the budget, but we can develop very sophisticated dashboards in the future to help the decision maker interact and make more informed decision. A futuristic view of this could be in the future, we have lots of smart agents, we have drones, we have sensors, satellite images, and we have an AI hub, maybe like University of Guelph or CFIA, that it collects the data seamlessly, integrates it, and then proactively, autonomously to some extent, I don't want to scare people, but this is a futuristic view, can make decisions. and kind of work with supply chain managers to handle kind of the disruptions within this poultry supply, food supply chain, product supply chain, or it can make some decisions regarding control measures. And so basically autonomously and proactively analyze data and make some decisions, even deploy veterinary drones to make some effective actions, or maybe provide vaccine to the farms or something like that. So this is the future. Some of it may sound very futuristic, but some of that even can be done right now. Crop management. So crop management, I have worked a little bit on this area. So, but again, there are many other reasons. Climate change is impacting how we can, our prediction and the way we used to do farm management. Efficient resourcing for water, fertilizer, pesticide, and then, so there are uncertainty in the market. So there are many reasons that I have worked, as I mentioned, in mushroom harvesting, predicting yield. Based on different environmental factors. So that can also be done by AI if we have the right data, always. So data is a major challenge. Very similar concept that I presented in the context of avian influenza. So get the data from different sources, relevant data, high quality data, integrate, analyze with simple or more complex AI solutions, and make planting decision when and how, make more efficient irrigation management, when and how to, and what type of fertilizer to use, water management, that's important, fertilizer management. So all those decisions, instead of the farmer making decision on their own, helping farmers or farm workers to make the right decision, but also potentially in the future make the process a little bit more autonomous. I know in some of the greenhouses in Canada, many of those decisions can be made autonomously, but obviously with human intervention. So this is another, kind of, there are many applications. So it could be a very simple solution based on very simple data, using a very simple algorithm, a repetitive action that would be very efficient, and we can rely on it and trust it. Or it could be something that I showed you for avian influenza, lots of data sources, complex, but very interesting forecasting and potential decision-making opportunities. So again, a bit of a futuristic view, how this could change for avian influenza or for other applications. I want to talk about digital twin. So digital twin is kind of, I have heard organizations are working, or researchers are working on this. So the idea is to create kind of a virtual farm that would replicate an actual farm down to plant level. So all the drones, all the sensors that are collecting data in real time, combined with near real-time data and then historical data, we create this technology can allow us to build a virtual farm that we can play with different parameters and looking to simulate and looking to what if scenarios. In terms of if I change watering management this way, if the weather changes this way, or if I use this much of a fertilizer or this type of fertilizer, how it's going to impact the production, and which part of soil sections, and some historical data, how we can do the planting to be more efficient. So that's kind of a futuristic view of maybe use of digital twin. And then for us to be able to do some sort of prediction or enhance our farm management, do the simulation, and make decision about many other farm practices that we haven't thought before that would be possible or would be effective. So looking at the time, I think I have time. So food production, this is an area that I'm very interested and I have been involved with. I work with some of the very well-known researchers, as you know, food science in Guelph. is one of the top departments in Canada, and I think in North America. This is an area I'm very interested to be involved in. One of the challenges for researchers to be active in this area is around data availability. These food companies are keeping a data close to their chest. They don't want to share. And then sharing, it would be across different activities. So the problem is if you share, limited amount of information for very kind of a simple decision making, that's fine, but it would be interesting. One of the areas I was very interested in, I met with Loblaws a few times about it, is supply chain optimization. Can we get data across the supply chain for produce, for example, fresh produce, or for other purposes? So there are many, again, as long as we can collect data and as long as we can collect high quality data, and if the decision is very well defined. So I'm not a huge fan of using agentic type AI right now in some of these applications because those are the goal. We may not be able to control the outcome. But kind of narrow AI that, there is a specific goal for that purpose, you build AI. So there are many applications in food as well. So I have listed a set of applications here. And so we can detect fake and real food for kind of fraud detection, food integrity, basically. If you get spectral data and if you get annotate data properly to show this is the real, for example, for olive oil, this is the real spectral data versus the product, sorry, that we have collected spectral data for, and then the fake ones and train AI with it. Then maybe AI can detect kind of in an autonomous way, and then seamlessly, very quickly, fraud food products. So that would be using AI and very focused, well-defined goal that we can use it for. In food production plant environment, there are many applications that we can, and I know many organizations, we have an event that we have invited some of them, who would basically who are deploying AI. So they are, computer vision to kind of monitor plant workers' behavior, hygiene, how they use masks and then how they are covering their hair. That would be good for educational purposes. Also, we can monitor the environment within the plant. We can monitor refrigerator, elevator, and a different environment to understand whether they are deviating from the original protocol, and then warn the manager about what's happening. Just generate alerts. Sometimes in some cases they can take corrective action, maybe disconnect the refrigerator or maybe take other corrective actions. So there are lots of, again, different applications for which AI can be used in agriculture and food. In food specifically, kind of a futuristic view, let's look at something that I haven't mentioned, augmented reality. So just imagine a food safety expert, they wear these glasses and immediately they see some numbers, they can scan the food, they can check the texture and see with information that's providing to them, they can identify maybe the texture is right. They can, so they can make decision, or if the food is not real, if it is not authentic, again, make some actions or decisions right there. So this kind of technology with sensors that is embedded in the environment and potentially in these tools can aggregate the data and can inform without the need to use kind of large manuals and what actions they should take. These tools can inform the food safety expert exactly what type of actions they need to take in a certain situation. For fun purposes, some people may use this to cook food with another friend, kind of as a game somewhere else, and or look at just look at the different ingredients and how it can change the taste of the food. So there are fun applications for especially augmented reality. Kids use it to play. a lot. So that's also a kind of futuristic view of using AI in food sector. So why the technology adoption is not widespread? Well, there was a story about Toyota that they kind of deployed very intelligent AI tools, and then the AI tools for painting the cars, and then so kind of the tools went completely nuts. They started painting each other. They started painting the window, and then so so it went completely out of kind of control. So AI safety, AI quality, AI performance is very important. Then let's look at kind of can we trust these AI tools, but especially generative AI. We cannot. There are lots of studies around AI hallucination or other problems that exist with these generative AI tools. AI can feed the world, but at what cost? What is the social impact of AI? So there are worries about that it may replace jobs, and then what's the cost, and then who gets control over data, and then how they control the food supply chain kind of ecosystem or food supply chain. I mean, in terms of pricing and other decisions. Related to food quality, safety, pricing, and all of that. So I couldn't find an article that kind of from reliable source for this, but this is something we have been talking for a long time. Many organizations in agriculture, and I say organization, it could be farmers and producers, they cannot trust AI for many different reasons. They don't know how they perform, what kind of data that it gets collected. It's not very user-friendly. It's not needed. So there are lots of factors that impact AI adoption, for in agriculture and food. Yeah, so so that was one. Artificial intelligence. Oh, for AI safety, as I mentioned. So what factors can ensure, especially in the case of generative AI, it's AI safety is a big topic. Cybersecurity, obviously, is a huge topic. So cybersecurity for hackers that take the infrastructure as a kind of they kind of it's just ransom, and they ask for money, or in some cases just imagine state-funded attackers that they want to get access to supply food information and disrupt it somehow. So these are quite scary. So big farm trust in data sharing, that's also another issue. Ethical aspect of AI is another issue. And I want to end with this, with the data problem, because in agriculture, all these applications that I told you depend on the data. It's data that builds AI, and it is extremely, it takes huge amount of effort to be able to make data ready for an AI and use it effectively. So what can we do? So this is basically shaking the whole foundation of AI. Data is an issue. People don't trust to share data. So I can go on. Then the AI that's built, is it safe? Is it accurate? Is it really helpful? Is it user-friendly? And can people trust it? Lots of stakeholders involved, how stakeholders think about this AI tool. So it is a very complex paradigm, and we need to take holistic action to address some or all of these challenges. First of all, AI is the future. Every application, AI is changing how we interact with the world. Agriculture and food sector, we cannot stay behind. We have to proactively adapt and adopt these technologies, but make it safe, make it equitable, make it trustworthy. So that should be the goal. Sorry. So we have to support research and development and upskilling, and so sorry, let me drink water. Um, so we have to, research and development and training. We have to build AI, innovative AI tools, but we have to validate it. And where do we validate it? In validation of these tools is quite important. So we need the environment, we need the infrastructure to do it. How we make AI reliable, safe, and trustworthy. We have to bring the right people and diverse group of people on board to build an AI system that we can trust, that we can rely on, as I mentioned. So the issue with AI is not just, it used to be a technology that you develop and you bring an AI developer that would control it and understand it. AI is impacting every aspect of our lives. And for agriculture and food, is impacting every operation could potentially in the future. So, legal backgrounds, social concerns, legal requirements, I meant social needs, and the issue around human not accepting, community pushing back on technology, competition in the market, all of those are impacting AI adoption and production and pricing, especially. It's quite expensive in Canada, many of these tools. So we need to address it holistically. So we need agile and comprehensive policies to address some of these challenges. Canada's data and AI infrastructure sovereignty. It's absolutely critical. We have another event on this as well. With a group of experts, how we can ensure that our infrastructure, we have an infrastructure, a reliable infrastructure with its connectivity, data centers and AI hubs and all of that. And how we make sure collaborate with our trusted partners to build open source tools and build tools that are Canadian, and they're Canadian brand, and they're trustworthy, but make it accessible to larger community. What I want to put emphasis on, and that's what we want to do at AI4Food, collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. This is a platform we want to enable in AI4Food. AI4Food is the first Canada's AI hub for agri-food. And we have a very clear mandate. We are a research institution, so we are not a kind of a separate entity, but we want to enable enhance agriculture and food systems, resilience, safety, and production, and also enable the use of data and AI and digital infrastructure to build new and innovative tools and make Canada kind of a leading country in these tools and in agriculture and food. When I say AI4Food, so we are assigning leads to each of the different sectors and different agri-food kind of areas. Within AI, we will collaborate with our partners, CareAI at University of Guelph. We will collaborate with international partners. So it's just me or 5 people. We are building our community. And as you know, University of Guelph is known in agriculture and food. So I cannot think of a better institution to host this hub. And also, Guelph is located in the AI technology triangle, University of Toronto or Toronto area, Waterloo area, and Guelph is situated in the perfect position, kind of a perfect region to lead this initiative. So what we have done, we have already made quite a bit of a progress. I'm very glad to report that we have joined a very large initiative, 30 million euros with Europe, which on data benchmarking, as I mentioned, data is a major hurdle. Without data, you cannot build these tools. So this is an initiative we have joined, and we have received some funding from this. We have joined, and we are building our own agriculture and food data spaces in Canada. We have started that initiative. We are bringing different expertise, legal, policy, to this, and we want to collaborate with Europe because that's something that was initiated from there. So the idea is to remove data hurdles because, again, and then the legal aspect, social aspect, kind of equity, trustworthy, ethical aspect of data in agriculture and food, the use of it and availability of it. We want to take an ecosystem approach, and this has also have started with small projects. We want to co-create solutions with our industry, government, and research partners. We will bring diverse expertise to build those solutions and to have more resilience and sustainable food supply chain. Our goal would be like for that, but we will focus on very small, challenging problems. And the aim is to either educate, help design AI tools that are ethical, that are reliable, but at the prototype. Again, we are not into commercialization. This is a research institution. In terms of collaborative network, so we have tried extremely hard from Brazil, US, Europe, and even within Canada, CFAR, OECD.ai. I'm glad to inform you that I have joined. So we are expanding our collaboration because again, this is not around building AI. This is beyond that. This is initiative. So we want to make sure we have built the right collaboration. We can contribute by knowledge sharing and also use their expertise also in Canada in agriculture and food on topics around data technology and AI technology. So we are in the process of creating, so we have spoken with few international partners to create sandbox for regulations and pilot projects. Maybe we can build the open source simple tools that is trustworthy in terms of integrity and sovereignty and make it available to so open source project kind of products and solutions is a very hot topic also in Europe and few other countries. The ethical and governance aspect, this is a very huge, at least from my perspective, it's a huge focus of mine. And we have built initiative with few organizations, especially with Europe. The major funding that I mentioned also covers this topic. We will be looking at existing landscape, and this is something that I will be leading specifically, of agriculture, of regulations and best practices and technologies in Canada. We will look into various risks in agriculture and food and then try to operationalize solutions. So this is an area we are focusing on. Human-centric approach as part of that governance and ethical aspect is very important. Again, when we look at many of these tools and we ask farmers about why not adopting more AI tools, they don't find it useful. They don't find it user-friendly. They find it a burden on top of everyday job that they have because these tools are built, very genius tools by engineers and people who are not in the farm operation, but they don't know how. You have to take the AI and embed it into the process. It cannot be, oh, I have an AI tool that's quite complex to use, but it will improve the farm practices. That's not how it works. It has to be human-centric. It has to be built based on human-centric best practices, but it has to build for the end user. So we are developing templates to make that happen. And also we are hoping with partners to offer training programs for upskilling. AI for food, basically the last slide. The goal is to enable an ecosystem approach. Our approach is very collaborative. So whether it's using regulations, focusing, we want to focus on different stakeholders for a specific project. Our approach would be project-based. Look at the regulations and best practices, look at the data, look at the AI technology, and then, involve the right people and see how we can help with the ecosystem and remove boundaries and challenges. So if you're interested to collaborate with us, we are open for collaboration. I have my email at the end of this at the end of this slide set. We have a website. I have few people right now assigned to get, so we can communicate. We can start at least a meeting with a short meeting. But again, we are open for collaboration. Again, just what you do, what kind of support. It could be as simple as literature review and then potentially sharing basic ideas and to, kind of bringing, not me, but the right experts from the University of Guelph or even outside to help with the projects. So we have been, in the past year and a half, we have been actively organizing events, National Dialogue on Artificial Intelligence and Food and Agriculture. That was last year. two initiatives, the webinar series with our industry partners, one for avian influenza, but one for international partners, sorry, for farming and food with very well-known Wageningen University research. I have many of them on my students' committees. We collaborate with them very closely. And also, we have another event. We have one on AI and data and infrastructure sovereignty national dialogue, and we have another one in October in food safety. We look forward to seeing you there if you're interested. This one is in collaboration with CFIA and OMAFA. I couldn't ask for better partners to work on food safety. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time, and hopefully I didn't go over, which I think I did. Thank you. Oh no, I still have time. Good.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Dara. I will now open it up. I'm on mute, right? Excellent.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, I'm good. Yay. Yeah, I'll just open it to any questions. If you have any questions, anybody of the participants here, please feel free to type something into the chat. I'm just monitoring things here, see if anybody has any burning questions. Perfect. Well, people can get a hold of you at these coordinates. There's a couple great events coming up. We've also actually put in a link to our event on September 17th for the Agri-Food 2050 event, which will also have I'm reminded that we will also have a very interesting breakout session on innovation and technology and incorporating AI and automation into food systems. So if anybody's interested in furthering that chat along with us as well on September 17th, they're more than welcome as well.
Yeah. Can I pose a question, because I think this is
Absolutely.
a great platform to have this discussion. I just want to stop sharing and show. Okay. Stop share. Okay. So I don't know how many are still remaining. So I'm not sure if from what sectors, but I'm curious about how can we expand collaboration in Canada around this topic, AI and data? It seems even that space is quite fragmented. So I've been able to build collaboration with CFAR, OECD AI, so some of the big names. But how can we build collaboration with, for example, AAC or other organizations, for one? And what are the second question is, what are the strategic areas that people feel it's very important that AI for food to start focusing on?
That is a very excellent question. I see we have some very diverse people here with us today. I think I even see some Northern Ontario representatives as well, working with the agriculture in Northern Ontario. Just curious for the audience, would anybody like to chime in on that question? There is one question not related to your question, but I just see this one here, and it's very interesting. As somebody is living in Finland, based on your experience, what's the challenge and what is the difference between data in Europe and in Canada?
Okay.
Aha.
Yeah,
And
that's
do
a
you
good
have any
question.
experience to work with Europe about the data in food?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I go to many European. I'm part of the Horizon Europe, especially with this funding that we have received. I'll be working with them very closely. I think in Europe, European partners, they're a little bit more proactive in sharing data or getting access to farmers' data or bringing farmers to collaborate on data sharing and building AI tools. It's not extreme, so it's not that we don't have any and they are very proactive. But for some reason, this is a little bit more established type of doing research in Europe. For example, there is an initiative in Belgium that they have built collaboration. They say they told me it was quite hard, but build collaboration with industry and also farmers to provide incentives for farmers to share data and for also for obviously incentives for companies to get access to data is obvious, but also for industries to build or work with farmers to make more user-friendly tools, or to be very transparent in terms of what they do. So basically they want to tackle this complex ecosystem on the legal aspect, on the trust aspect, on data sharing aspect. They have been able to initiate such projects to at least understand what the problem is, what farmers are thinking about, what industries' needs are, what are the legal challenges within the terms of use, data agreements, right to repair, which is a very hot topic right now. For us, it's a little bit more challenging to build that ecosystem. So that would be the data challenges. I'm not sure if I have answered your question, but that to me seems to be a data challenge we currently have. But obviously data in Europe and food, you mentioned food. In Canada, it's extremely hard. We work with one of the food retailers, which is quite famous. I don't want to name it. For 2 years, we couldn't get access to data. So I think food that I've heard in Europe, it's also not easy to get access to food data. Food, I mean, it's, I mean, agriculture and then upstream, that's downstream supply chain. That one is a little bit more complex. I hope I answered your question, Zahra. I'll go to Ali's question. Synthetic detections such as highly pathogenic.
Yeah, Ali has a very specific question there.
Oh, yes, we need laboratory confirmation. We are not there yet. So basically, we use laboratory confirmation data to build our AI tools. And most likely, we need that information because, as you know, avian influenza virus constantly changes, it mutates. So we still don't have, and I don't know with this agentic AI, maybe they become extremely smart and they can understand how the virus has mutated. But until then, we definitely need a lot of laboratory data, as much as we can. The more we have, the better. AI is hungry for data. AI models are hungry for data.
I'll read out this other question. First of all, amazing and informative webinar. How can independent researchers collaborate and possibly those willing to contribute to this ecosystem and community?
Sorry, what was the question?
How can independent researchers collaborate
Okay.
and contribute to this ecosystem and
With
community?
AI4Food, I assume. So yeah, so please contact me. So there are a number of ways. So one of the ways we plan. So I mentioned it's an ecosystem approach. So we will address the problems, the challenges that are the AI model challenges. It could be a policy challenge by engaging the stakeholders and experts in that area. So if you can tell me what your, I have a research associate, what your expertise are, so we can engage you when there's an opportunity. Also, we organize, for example, in November, we will organize a workshop on the legal aspect, kind of data sharing and contracts and using an AI assistant. We are building an AI assistant to summarize and inform farmers about data agreements. And, so we will bring lawyers and then, those expertise into this workshop. There will be lots of work. So if let's say your background is on soil and you're an expert in soil, we can involve you when there are projects related to that. I was mentioning to Peter, we had a company who came to us and they said, I have all this soil data. I don't know what to do with it. Can you give us an idea? So we did a literature review and we pointed some of our colleagues that they can go to and collaborate.
There is another question here. Could you please clarify if the data in AI4Food are currently, whether partially or fully, whether it's publicly accessible, or if there are plans to make them so?
So AI4Food doesn't, okay. So AI4Food, okay, very good question. So I'm thinking, for data benchmarking, even the collaboration we have with Europe, every data type that we have, it may be associated with a legal agreement. So So that is a problem. On our side, avian influenza, our plan is to make the data accessible. The one that CFI has given to us, that's very confidential. But the data that's not confidential, we want to make it accessible. But we are not there yet because we have to test and validate it, as you know. So we have to go through some processing, but we cannot promise, for example, for agriculture of data initiative that we can make other colleagues' data available. So there, data benchmarking is gaining attention. We are working with Carleton University. No, not Carleton. I have to. It's an American university, but anyway, for example, on food safety data. So benchmarking data is gaining attention gradually, but it's quite slow, as you can imagine, because of the legal considerations.
Very good.
Yeah, so if you have any ideas in terms of how we can address this very complex AI ecosystem in terms of collaboration, I'll be happy to hear about it. But again, we have made progress, but I'm hoping with the smaller communities, we have also reached out to indigenous representing organizations. So they are interested in collaboration. But we are looking into expanding, working with more farmers, farmer associations, and also food organizations, which has shown to be challenging.
Excellent. Well, sounds like collaboration is definitely a key word here.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, if there are no more questions, then we can possibly wrap this up. But Dr. Dara, thank you so much for this wonderful, session today. I mean, I've learned a lot. Most of it is probably still going to be over my head. I'm not going to lie, but we are getting there. And I'm just so impressed at how fast this whole thing is moving. And one of my takeaways is, yesterday was almost too late to get on board. We need to take action now and try and work on the harnessing of all of this. And hopefully we can build something better for the future for sure.
Okay,
So
thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, and hope to see everyone out at our next Lunch and Learn, which details will be announced in the next little while. Thanks very much for joining us today, and
thank you very much, Peter.
Bye-bye.